All right. Hello, Durud and Shalom. Guys, here we are again. We have a whole bunch of updates. Make sure you post your questions in the chat. Let me see who we have here. We already have our favorite people. Fantastic. Oh, I see you guys. Okay, chat is already busy. Well, thank you for being here, guys. All right, so I'm gonna make sure to pay a lot of attention to the chat because I want to make sure that we engage with you guys and we answer your questions. But before we do all of that, let's just get a real quick updates on what's happening so we're all on the same page. And oh, hi, Monkey.
Hello, hello, hola, and Darut, and shalom.
Hola, Durud and Shalom. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's see what's happening, and then we'll go to your comments and everything.
U.S.-Iran ceasefire is under pressure this morning as American forces launch retaliatory strikes near the Strait of Hormuz.
And President Trump is now warning that the U.S. may have to finish what they started if Iran continues to strike.
Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the very latest. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. The United States conducted another round of airstrikes against Iran overnight after the IRGC targeted shipping vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. According to U.S. Central Command, a variety of different targets were hit, including Iranian military surveillance infrastructure, communication systems, air defense sites, drone storage facilities, and mine layer capabilities. The president posted a True Social shortly after the strikes, saying United States aircraft just struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement again. It is very possible that they will never learn. The president goes on to say there may come a point when we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very...
I don't know, man. I think like we're not going to do anything significant yet, but let's see what President Trump's saying.
We are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. In response, Iran launched missiles and drones.
So here's the thing. I think the Islamic Republic's understanding is that President Trump is bluffing and he's not going to do anything before the midterms. And if, in fact, it's going to be bad for him if he does this before the midterms. So they might want to get more aggressive with this. In fact, there are probably parts of IRGC that thinks that we should escalate this because we should do at. I think there are parts of the IRGC that think that one way or another, war with the United States is going to happen again. Like it's going to get escalated to a high level. And we shouldn't wait for Trump to do this on his own timing. We should do it on our timing. And it's better to escalate now rather than wait for when Trump wants. Like, why should we wait for his timing? Given how bad he thinks this is going to be for the midterms, we should basically escalate the military operations now and get it going now. There is some people within the IRGC that are thinking that. But again, they're very much under pressure because Ghalibaf doesn't want that, and Ghalibaf is so far been successful in holding them back. But there is that philosophy in that within the IRGC, some people have the philosophy. Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying ships sneaking through, no transponders. How many? That's actually Fleshy Interloper. Let us know how many if you can. Is it a big deal? Also, we need to check out Fleshy with another super chat saying, I think US will keep the Islamic Republic blind striking raiders. Yeah, but I don't know how many raiders do they have. Like they keep bombing the same area. Like are they how many raiders does the Islamic Republic have? Like every time we're hearing like, oh, we blew up another radar.
You know some of these are vehicles, right?
Yeah.
That you just drive it out there, pop the antenna up. So if they're vehicle radars, that could be that they got a shipment of them or they got driven in from somewhere. But there are vehicle types that pop up radar.
Oh, interesting.
Also, thank you, Fleshy Interloper.
Thank you. Because Said Qasim Najad was asking this. So Shin posted this saying regime-aligned SNN media was saying several projectiles hit telecommunication towers in Sirik Island, okay, southern Iran, Hormuzgan province in Iran. And Said Qasim Najad is saying, has CENTCOM been hitting the same telecom tower in Sirik for the last few weeks? How many telecom towers are in Sirik? So what do you think to that?
Well, a telecom tower is not the same as a radar. A radar could be a vehicle. A telecom tower is something very different. That, hey, they're making a great point, because if they specifically said telecom towers, we're not talking radars. If they're hitting many, it would be weird.
Yeah, but that's a good question. That, I mean, I don't know. Like, is Sirik and Qeshm Island seem to be just the area that Americans are, that, you know, some might have the perception that the Islamic Republic has just said, like, okay, I'll make Sirik and Qeshm available for United States to bomb, so that they could say that they responded, and we could have some US bases in Bahrain and in Kuwait for us to bomb, like maybe just a runway or somewhere that nobody dies. So we will keep bombing certain not very significant parts of US bases in Bahrain, and Kuwait, and you keep bombing different not very important areas in Qeshm and Sirik Island, as a way for us to keep dancing this dance. That's what I think is happening. Maybe.
I'd have to look at the videos, because the US usually has videos, and in the video you will be able to tell if this is the same strike or a different strike, what is being struck. So I would leave that to OSINT, or take a look myself. But each of these strikes, usually when America does a strike, they do have video showing it. So that's where my mind would go. As far as it being too early, it's too early for them to fuck around and find out, because we can do a bombing campaign for 2 months and still be finished well before the elections, and have, a little bit more stability, a little bit more peace in the markets. We still have wiggle room. It's the middle of the summer, and the elections are in November. So there is enough time, very much enough time, to hit them incredibly hard before I hope they do get so stupid that they think Trump won't go hard before the elections, and they keep. But remember, I want the bombing campaign, so I would hope they keep fucking around and they find out. We are too far away from elections for them to be thinking that. But hey, I hope that's their mindset. I hope so, because they're going to find out.
I think a lot of people's assessment is that President Trump right now has no appetite for starting anything significant.
He could get hungry. If they keep going, he's going to get hungry. He's going to want it. He's going to get pissed.
But that's the assessment by so many people. I'm not saying if it's correct or not. The assessment by many people is that he's just gonna keep doing limited strikes and calling it a big deal, but they're all gonna be limited. That's what people's assessments are.
I would go to their accounts and check if they said that there won't be a reply to what happened on Friday, and say, look, they were wrong about this. They're gonna be wrong again. They usually underestimate what Trump is willing to do.
Wait, let me see some videos on some of the stuff that happened. So here's one. CENTCOM released this video. The U.S. military has released footage of Friday strikes on Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. According to U.S. Central Command, the operation targeted missiles and drone storage sites along with coastal radar facilities. So let me watch that. But the video I want to see, I saw this video before, by the way. So what the video I want to see is what the Islamic Republic hit in Bahrain and Kuwait. That's what I want to see.
I want to see that one, to see if it's a mobile site, because if it's a mobile radar, they said radar, right? Is it showing it before it hits?
Oh,
let me see. No, that's just a hit. I can't really tell from there.
Yeah, no, look. I see it. I see, like, is that a tower? I think that's a tower.
Yes, that might be a tower. Okay, these towers are cheap, easily constructed, and they usually work as an array. I mean, they might work as an array. I wouldn't say usually. I believe they might work as an array. It wasn't my field.
I have another video here, and then guys, we'll get to the super chat. U.S. Navy Air Force fighter jets conducted strikes tonight on 10 Iranian military targets at multiple locations in and near the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, so here's another video. Let me play this. I don't know what the hell was that. What is that? Wait.
That could be from where they're bringing out the drones. Maybe they have a tunnel in there that opens up and they just pop out and fire and come back in. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing.
Okay, these are too far away for us to see what was hit. Oh, wait, what was that? Go back. This over here. Oh, no, not above it. I didn't even see. I don't see anything here. What was this? Is the place where the explosion happens. What was that?
That's so small, it could have been a vehicle.
Yep.
Like a radar vehicle. See where it is?
Yeah, these videos are not going to tell us what they hit. So, yeah, they're too small. Could be nothing, could be something significant. Let me respond to the super chat. Amir saying, I am rejoicing the actions has started, yet I won't retake my bitter points TDS so fast. Wait for real progress. Yes. Yeah, guys, we might be here for a while. Like it's going to be, again, this is the circle that we're in. Okay, ships are gonna go through the Strait of Hormuz, southern lane rather than northern lane, closer to Oman rather than Iran. IRGC like, nope, that's not the lane. I'll blow you. I'll shoot some drones at you. They shoot some drones. Many of them won't hit. Sometimes some of them would hit. As soon as some of them hit, United States would respond. United States will respond in Sirik and Qesh. Similar videos to what we just showed you. And the Islamic United States are going to be like, oh, you hit a ship. That's a violation of the ceasefire. So we're going to respond to you in Qesh and Sirik. And then the Islamic Republic going to be like, oh, you just hit us in Qesh and Sirik. That's a violation of the ceasefire. We're going to bomb U.S. bases in Kuwait and Bahrain. And they're going to do that. And United States were like, nothing really happened. So we're going to call it that. We're going to stop here. And then we're going to go back to this. This might be where we are until maybe the midterm elections are over. And also when the troops are arrested and met with their family. And also when we have more missile interceptors and other types of munition at a higher level. Maybe that's what we're dealing with. Okay.
I agree, and I don't like the pace. I don't like the slow pace. I don't like this ping pong. I'm not a big fan of. I like playing ping pong, but it's not something I want to see, especially in warfare. I would rather see the IRGC ramp up and fail, but that's the problem. If they ramp up and fail, we're not. It's possible that Donald isn't upset enough to do a larger strike. And I don't want them to do something so large that he has to respond, because that usually means that it costs lives. So if you know my preference, right? I'm not agreeing with this method. I like the guy, he's done more than a lot, but as far as what's going on now, I don't agree with this methodology. I think at some point, if they go too far, we do have a lot of time. Even within that 2 months of the MOU, we have enough times to hit them very hard and be finished hitting them incredibly hard before the elections.
Right. All right. Let me do the super chats. Reincarnation Entertainment. Thank you, Tom, for the super chat saying, like and subscribe to Liberty Politics and Grease Monkeys channels. Yes, I will promote Grease Monkeys channel when more people are here for sure. Thank you for reminding me. Let me make sure I have it ready. I will do that. Thank you, Tom. You're always very kind. And then Fleshy Interloper with the super chat saying 50-ish ships chart in school. Okay, thank you for sending us that chart. 50, that's a lot. Wait, 50, isn't that 50 a day? Isn't that high, Fleshy? let us know. And then we have a question for you, Grease Monkey, saying, why did you pick a monkey?
In the army and Americans in general call mechanics grease monkeys, right? So because I was a mechanic in the U.S. infantry, that's why I chose grease monkey. It's an American way of saying mechanic.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go back to the update.
The Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. In response, Iran launched missiles and drones toward Kuwait and Bahrain. This was the second exchange of fire this weekend between the United States and Iran. Vice President Vance posted to X over the weekend saying Iran signed a ceasefire agreement. We have honored it. If they have disagreements about how the MOU is being applied, they can pick up the phone. But violence will be met with violence. The new military action comes as the situation between Israel and Hezbollah plays out as a separate but parallel issue. The Israelis launched new strikes against Hezbollah this weekend as Hezbollah continued attacks against Israeli forces in southern Lebanon. Late last week, there was a diplomatic breakthrough in Washington as the Israelis and Lebanese signed a framework agreement aimed at normalizing ties between the two countries and disarming Hezbollah.
These were intense talks, difficult talks, but we arrived at an agreement, the framework agreement, which will allow for the achievement of a full peace agreement between our two countries.
While the situation in Lebanon is stabilizing slightly, there are questions about if the technical talks between the United States and Iran will move forward this weekend as scheduled due to the fact that the Iranians are still testing this fragile ceasefire agreement. Guys?
So, Trey, you mentioned and you laid out perfectly what's happened over the weekend. In two separate cases, Iran, who has perceived the MOU as to being violated, the ceasefire, that they are striking Kuwait, Bahrain. But yet, this seems to me that this week we are going to climb up the escalation ladder when you have Vice President Vance saying violence will be met with violence. How do you see this week playing out?
Yeah, it's possible. Look, this memorandum of understanding is a very simple agreement. It's about a page and a half, and it very clearly states the Strait of Hormuz has to be open. And the president has indicated there will be no tolling of the strait, and they can't be launching drones and missiles toward vessels that are trying to pass through. But the Iranians continue to do just that. They have targeted these vessels with a variety of attack drones. And these one-way attack drones can cause significant damage to these vessels that are often carrying sometimes 2 million barrels of crude oil through this critical waterway. And there are still thousands of sailors that are stranded in the Persian Gulf. And so these strikes overnight are meant to send a message to the Iranian regime that if you continue to try to destabilize the region and test this agreement, that ultimately this is going to be met with the force of the U.S. military. And that is why you saw those extensive U.S. strikes overnight. And both President Trump and Vice President Vance have indicated that if the Iranians do not choose the diplomatic track, that the military option remains on the table.
So, Trey, Iran's Arab neighbors applauded the memo of understanding. What do they make of this latest skirmish and the U.S. Launching retaliatory strikes against Iran?
It's a bit ironic because you had in the past 24 hours the Iranian foreign minister traveling to Baghdad to meet with his counterpart and the president there in Iraq. And during his remarks, he said that the Iranians are still interested in creating a Gulf coalition. But as he was making those remarks, these Gulf countries were shooting down incoming Iranian fire. And the damage that we saw was caused to residential buildings. And it's an indication that while the Iranians continue to say one thing, their actions don't match their statements. And that's exactly why the administration is watching closely what is happening in the Strait of Hormuz. But again, these Gulf countries are on the front line of this conflict. The president told me previously he was most surprised by the fact that these mostly neutral countries came under direct Iranian assault during Operation Epic Fury, despite the fact that they weren't involved in the conflict. And that's exactly what we are seeing today. The Iranians lashing out against these neighbors that they claim they want peace with. But in reality, they are launching missiles and drones toward residential populations.
Yeah, it seems like maybe these Gulf countries are realizing they're going to have to find some sort of arrangement or peace with Iran because they are the targets when things go wrong. So great to have you here. And with that.
All right, let's actually respond to some more comments by you guys because I want to make sure that we're engaging with you guys. Reincarnation Entertainment with a super chat saying, remember school less than 4 hours? Yes, guys. We are going to be in our discussion group in 4 hours from now. less than 4 hours from now. Thank you so much, Tom, for reminding everyone about that. The QR code in the top left will get you there. Thank you. We got another super chat. Ahef, thank you, saying, do we know about how many missile launchers Iran has left? Ooh, that's a good question. So my understanding is that they might have 2/3 of it left. Is that what your, I could double check this for you. Is that your understanding, Monkey?
I think so. I'm not very sure. I thought it was half, but this is me guesstimating. This is not me remembering.
Okay, so I will double check this for you now, guys. When they were reporting during Operation Epic Fury that, I don't know, 90% of the missile launching of the Islamic Republic has been taken away from them, that was not a lie. That was true, but it wasn't taken away by destroying 90% of their missile launchers. But it was taken away by closing the entrances to the missile cities. So the missile launchers, most of them were still there, were not destroyed, but they couldn't be used because their entrances were bombed. But
And we saw videos of them opening them,
right,
or pictures.
Yes, exactly. We saw the entrances to the missile cities being opened up, and means that they now have access to them again. But let me actually see. So launchers, so U.S. and Israeli airstrikes have destroyed or heavily compromised roughly 50 to 70% on Iran's active ballistic missile launchers. So okay, so that's pretty high actually. But here, while surface and mobile launchers have taken a major hit, a significant number remain protected inside fortified subterranean tunnels and bunkers. Destroyed, heavily compromised roughly. Okay, so the active ones have been destroyed, but there's a lot still underground. Okay, so because so many launchers were wiped out or buried under collapsed tunnel entrances, Iran's ability to fire massive simultaneous barrages, it plummeted over 80%. So it plummeted over 80% because they didn't have access to the launchers, not because 80% of them were destroyed. While launchers are the main bottleneck, Iran is estimated to still hold roughly 70% of its overall pre-war missile stockpile. Okay, so there's three different numbers, right? The missile stockpile, the launchers, then the access, the ability to launch missile. These are three different numbers, right? So the launchers, half of them were destroyed. The ability to launch during the Operation Epic Fury was reduced by 80%, but that doesn't mean that the launchers were destroyed by 80%. Missiles, they still have 70% of the missiles. So these are three different numbers, and I gave you all three based on the intelligence reports. What do you think about that?
You know what? I think they would also be trying to bolster. I think they would be trying to get supplies from wherever they can to increase their stockpile. I don't know how easy it is to get the type of vehicle that launches them. That might be a little bit more difficult. And should we comment on the video we saw? Like, I'd like to say something about the Lebanon side and the Persian Gulf partner side. On the Lebanon side, I think this is my optimistic view. Right. My optimistic view is that behind the scenes, they're going to start doing joint training. It's you guys are having difficulty finding them. Let me show you how we find them. Let me give you our intel. Let me help you do your job so we don't have to do it for you. Right. And help with training, help, share, because I'm sure some of these Lebanese soldiers have suffered at the hands of Hezbollah. So I'm wanting and hoping that there's joint training, maybe some equipment sharing or some equipment, training. And as far as the Gulf partners,
Mikey, keep talking. I'll be right back. I'm getting a very important call from an important person. Okay, very important. Keep talking to people. I'll be right back. It's very important. It's about what's happening right now. Okay, I'll be right back. Keep talking.
All right. As I was saying, What I would like to see is more training and joint exercises between the Lebanese military and the Israeli military. I think, brothers in arms is a phrase that comes from having a shared target and having to deal with being attacked by that target. I think working together is going to bring them closer together. They can share methodology, they can share equipment, and they can share training. Right? I think this would make the Lebanese army stronger than just giving it equipment and money. I think it might. Just going off what's happened with other places that we've helped along the way, it could help them come together in a great way. I also think that this thing with the boats is a problem, but the larger problem is if they keep striking Persian Gulf partners. Now, striking Persian Gulf partners would up the pressure far more than hitting like a boat. If they hit a boat and they don't kill anybody, and usually they don't, that's a problem, but that usually leads to a strike on a military site. Now, what they would be doing, and it would be more it would be more of a straight problem than a nation problem. Now, if they start striking Persian Gulf partners, that would up the pressure. That would anger the administration more, in my view. That might lead to larger strikes. So these are my takes on the Israel-Lebanon side. Working together, very important. Working together and sharing intel and training, it's very important. And equipment might lead to more unity because they both have Hezbollah as an enemy. I'm sure people in the Lebanese army have also died at the hands of Hezbollah, and the struggle will bring them closer together. And they would also know that Israel helped the UAE, gave them the Iron Dome, right? So they know, look, Israel, when they want to help, they go all out, right? So that would help them come together. And attacks on Persian Gulf partners are a larger pressure point than the boats themselves.
All right. You have my audio, right? Yeah, okay. Everything's fixed. Okay, so guys, I'm talking to very important people. I don't know if I could share it with you guys. I'll ask them. Koala Katie, thank you so much for the super chat saying, will Islamic Republic stop hitting for Khamenei's funeral? Oh, that's actually an interesting point. They might actually have to de-escalate because they might be worried that something might happen during Khamenei's funeral. You're right. Actually, that is a very smart question. They want maximum presence for Khamenei's funeral. So there will be a lot of motivation to de-escalate things. So people before and during the funeral, so people feel safe to show up. That is a very good point, Koala Katie. I do think that you might be right. I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure on the IRGC to de-escalate around that time, because some people who want to come for the funeral might stay home if they're afraid that it could get bombed.
I think, let me ask you, right after the funeral, after everyone's gone home, would they then have a barrage? Would you think that's likely?
After that, we're going to go back to this whole dance that they're having.
Wouldn't the streets say, oh my God, our dear leader, we need revenge, right after the funeral? Or would they just not listen to the streets?
The streets are becoming irrelevant. The people who are anti-deal, I'm sure they're going to have the upper hand at some point, like more of an upper hand at some point. Right now, they're being sidelined. Yeah. So, but great.
Makes sense.
Yeah. One thing I could tell you, in servers talking about Mujtaba, one thing I could tell you, everybody in Iran is talking about whether or not Mujtaba will show up at his father's funeral. And this is a very, very hot topic in Iran right now, because if he does, holy shit, we'll finally see Mujtaba. If he doesn't, everybody holy fucking shit, he didn't even show up for his father's funeral. like more people are gonna think that okay, he's dead. If he doesn't show up, more people are gonna think like he's dead. Like this is it. There's no way.
Do you think he'll look like a rainbow Darth Vader with mechanical legs and half his face burned off?
Sure, why not? Speaking about his face being burned off of, like, it is possible that they might bring somebody else that is not him, and they cover his face saying his face is burnt out. So they might bring someone else.
Oh, do a half mask like Phantom of the Opera.
No, because you could tell if it's him or not if you show half. They have to cover his entire face if they want to bring someone else. Oh, look, how do you respond to this? Somebody in the chat saying peace through proportional response. What could go wrong? So people are criticizing President Trump, saying this is weak. This is not peace through strength.
I mean, you're not going to get a disagreement from me. I want to start bombing again. I like the guy. That doesn't mean I agree with everything he says or does.
And then we have Amir agreeing with you, saying, Monkey, I'm hoping as well. I don't believe Hezbollah in Lebanon will really be pushed down as planned. Do you agree with him?
Not well. I don't know what the plan is, so I can't say as planned. But I do believe that when you're incorporating you're starting joint operations with another nation, it does take time for that integration to happen. They just signed, right? So any joint operations would be just starting. The commanders are just starting to meet and talk and sit down, right? So this is something that would definitely take time. But the most important part is to get through. They're going through their MOU phase. Basically, they're having an understanding. Hey, we're moving forward to a larger piece. I'm hoping that phase goes well, and I'm guessing there's going to be some integration, some interaction as far as intelligence at the very least, and tactics. And if they start seeing results on their side, I mean, these people are generals too. They're commanders too. They want to show success. They want to be able to get larger budgets. That comes through success. If they see results on their side from any training intel that comes from Israel, they're going to want to do it more. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's my hopeful side. And, I'm going to put that in my thoughts and prayers.
Right. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. No borders. Okay, thank you. Saying Armin has an open line to Ghalibaf also. You know what? I think I do. Because I think he watches me. I'm joking, by the way. I think he watches my Persian YouTube streams. The ones that has mostly an Iranian audience on my Persian channel. Because I recommended to Ghalibaf to create a fake opposition. Guys, I'm kidding. I'm not. I have the video to prove this. Okay, this is the video here. I have the video to prove this. Okay, let me know if you want me to show it to you and tell you what it is. Because, by the way, I'm not saying he's listening to me, but it's almost as if he's like watching me directly. Because I suggested to Ghalibaf to have certain mullahs and influencers to come and attack you and Pezeshkian and Arakchi, but in a controlled way, like kind of like a fake opposition, to come out and say, you know what, fuck Ghalibaf, fuck Pezeshkian, fuck Arakchi, I hate those fucking guys. Okay, but then get that, and but make sure it's controlled, manage it redirect that to a way that you could actually control it, right? And then just 2 days after I said that on the Persian channel, this video came out. Let me know, like, guys, you want to go nerdy on the Durka?
Sure.
This is too detailed.
I bet he does watch.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just translate this. This just came out in Iran. Okay. So let me translate these for you guys here. Yeah, so I'm saying, so like controlled opposition. Yeah, exactly, like controlled opposition. I think that this is paid by Ghalibaf, controlled opposition by Ghalibaf. That's what I think is happening here, right? But let me actually show to you guys. I genuinely think this guy has like his bank account is being funded by Ghalibaf. But let me play.
کسی جرأت داشت بگه چرا نمیگی جزئیاتشو؟
Okay, so he's saying when Ali Khamenei was alive, did anybody come and give us the details of negotiations?
امام با اون کسی که میخواست مکفارلین را افشا کنه چه کار کرد؟ برید بخونید. مذاکره کننده ارشد دولت شهید رئیسی رفیق بنده است، خیلی آدم فوق‌العاده‌ایه. آیا
So I will give you the gist of it. I'm not going to tell all you all.
از جزئیات مذاکره حرف می‌زدن با مردم؟
So he's basically is trying to say, like, guys, you keep asking Ghalibaf and Pezeshkian to give you more details regarding the negotiations. But even during our previous the president that we liked, Raisi, they didn't give us the details. So why are we expecting them to give us the details now? They would never, they shouldn't be giving us the details.
مردم صلاح نمی‌دونستن. بنده هیچ وقت اصلاح طلب نبودم، ولی اینکه حالا اینا اومدن بگه آی چون اینا اما نیستن خائنن، این انصاف نیست.
He's saying I never supported people like Pezeshkian, like the reformers. Like I'm not for I guys, I'm like you guys. I hate them. I hate these Pezeshkian type people, okay? But it's unfair for us to say like, oh, because we're against them, we should be unfair to them. Just because we're against people like Pezeshkian, it doesn't mean that we should be unfair with our criticism. If they're not giving us our details, the hardliners like our people weren't giving us details in as well. You guys see how this is controlled opposition? You're like, guys, I'm like you guys. I'm also anti-Pezeshkian, but let's be fair.
جزئیات مذاکرات رو نمیگفتن. حالا به اینا رسید که من ازشون خوشم میاد یا بدم میاد، اینا باید بگن. هیچ وقت نمیگفتن. چرا شما
like now that the people in power are, regardless of whether we like them or don't like them, regardless of that, now we're saying like, oh, they have to give us all the details. Like, no, they never give us that.
قبلی‌ها رو نمیگرفتیم. یعنی اینا رو فقط میگیریم. یا مثلا مقایسه دولت این بنده خدا که من بهش رأی ندادم که با بزرگترین امپراتوری دنیا جنگیده، بعض اقتصاد.
So he's saying like, let's now now our people, like the hardliners, we keep comparing the government of this person. Like he never mentions Pezeshkian, like this person that I never voted for. Like, so he's not even mentioning Pezeshkian's name, right? Like this person that I never voted for. We keep comparing the economic condition under his, rule compared to the previous one, which is not fair because he's fighting against a superpower. Like he's fighting against America. Like we keep saying like, guys, I didn't vote for him. Like, screw him. Fuck this guy. Like he's not saying what I'm saying. Like I'm just exaggerating what he's saying. But he's saying like, yeah, guys, I never voted for this guy. But come on, we cannot tell him like he's doing a bad job on the economy. He's fighting a superpower, United States.
الان با اقتصاد دولت‌های قبل مقایسه کردن به بهانه‌ای که ایشون قبلا انتقادهای ناجوان مردانه کرده در مورد دولت‌های قبل. اگر انتقاد ناجوان مردانه کرده در مورد دولت‌های قبل غلط کرده.
Like it's true that Pezeshkian has said bullshit. Like he's not mentioning his name. Like if he's, it's true that he has like bad, he said bad things against our camp and fuck him if he has done that. That's true, but
اما ما حق نداریم به خاطر اشتباه کسی ما هم ظلم کنیم. دولتی که وسط
like even though the government has done many mistakes, we don't have the right to do the same mistakes ourselves.
جنگ با آمریکاست. هر روز شما تو دل مردم خالی کنی تورم انقدر شد.
Oh, he's saying like when our government is fighting against America, we can't just come out and take hope away from people, like demotivate them by saying like, oh, look at the inflation. So he's basically asking people to stop talking about inflation.
این به نفع مردم نیست.
Like this is not good for our people if we keep saying these like bad messages, like take negative messages regarding the inflation.
وسط جنگ.
In the middle of a war, we keep complaining about inflation.
چرا؟ چون این آقای مال مانی، ما یکی دیگر رو میخوایم.
Oh, why? Like, and we only just keep complaining against Pezeshkian, and he's not saying his name. Like this man, we keep complaining about him only because he's not part of our camp. He's part of the other camp.
من اینجور میفهمم که دعوا انتخاباتیه.
Anyways, he keeps on now making the same point. I'm not going to continue. But you see what he's doing? He's trying to be like, guys, like, yeah, these people, fuck them. But come on, let's be fair. Right? He's trying to tone down that, like he's trying to reduce the attacks on Ghalibaf, Pezeshkian, and Arakshi and
I
stuff like
saw
that.
I saw a comment from BT in the chat. Nah, this is too reasonable, and I'm with her on that. Yeah, this is. I think fairness is haram, isn't it? Isn't that against? But I don't think this is. Yeah, this is too fair. I'm with her on that.
This is controlled opposition. This is about somebody going out to the people who hate Pezeshkian and Ghalibaf and the negotiating team and trying to manage them, trying to make it tone them down, right? And I saw somebody. Well, let me see. Somebody in the chat was saying, "Oh, got so many super chats saying." Oh, Sean is saying, Armin, quit giving them ideas. Okay. So, but here's what I did because Ghalibaf was watching me and we're like, oh my God, Armin has so many good points. Controlled opposition. Okay, I'll do that right away. But then today he was watching my show and he was like, oh my God, let me take more points from Armin. But then I said, like, hey, the Arzishia, which is basically the radical hardliners. This man is Ghalibaf's controlled opposition. Go get him. And Ghalibaf was like, no, Armin, I was doing what you told me. Stop exposing me. So, see, I keep helping both sides so that I could turn them against each other. But anyway, I'm joking, guys.
I do believe someone is watching. Let's say it's not him directly. Could be him directly. Who else is doing this? Who else is doing an analysis from our side in Persian? It can't be a lot of people, not with as much reach. I think maybe I just see you too much as a mentor, and you're such a large figure in my head that I'm just bigging you up too much. But I think it's a possibility. I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibilities. Some people over there, his advisors or himself, could be watching. I wouldn't put it past them.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's see. We have more super chats. Thank you, guys. We have Nina saying, "How will the Durka react?" Guys, for people who are new here, Durka is our term for the most jihadi, crazy ones amongst them, right? How will the Durka react if and when cardboard don't show up? Protests, kill each other, nothing. How will IRGC react to the Durka's reactions? This is a really good question, Nina. Okay, so if Mujtaba Khamenei doesn't show up during the funeral of his father, Ali Khamenei, so there's going to be different reactions, okay? Some people would cope, but like, oh, our supreme leader is it called occultation when somebody goes missing? Is that the word?
Goes missing. I think we just call it goes missing.
No, missing. No. The religious term for it when the Mahdi is in hiding. I think it's called occultation, right? I don't know the English word for this. Yes, it is called the occultation. Ghaibat. So just like the Mahdi, our supreme leader is an occultation. So that's the coping response. Okay, so there's different kinds of response. Some people are going to be like, we told you, they have arrested him. This is a coup. We have to save the supreme leader. Let's go out, fight Ghalibaf and the current Islamic Republic to save the supreme leader. Okay, that is going to be some of the reaction. Some of them be like, he's dead. He's fucking dead, and they're lying to us. Some of them are going to be saying that Mujtaba is dead. Some of them are going to be like, we don't know what's happening, and the regime is not being transparent to us. If he's alive, show it. If he's dead, just please tell us. That's going to be some of them. Some of them are going to turn against Mujtaba, calling him weak. Some of their really hardcore, like his father was good. He's a weak supreme leader. He should have never been supreme leader. They chose him only because he was his father's son. So we're going to have a variety of reactions. Most of them will be against the Islamic Republic. If he doesn't show up, I think it will have a very, very negative effect of the understanding of the Islamic Republic. So think about it. Like the only ones who benefit the Islamic Republic are the coping ones, saying he's in occultation, he's missing, just like our Mehdi. Oh my God, so God is so wise. They're gonna say, and write this down, Islamic Republic. This is the narrative. I haven't seen you use this narrative. I'm giving you this for free. Okay, I'm giving you Shia consulting for free. Okay, these are really good propaganda. You have to say this. You have to say God, in His infinite wisdom, is preparing us for the coming of Mahdi. So He made the new supreme leader kind of like the Mahdi by putting him in hiding, putting him in occultation, and that's why he's younger. Because the Mahdi, when he appears, he's going to be younger. So we get used to the coming of Mahdi. This is a practice run for the coming of Mahdi. So that is the reaction that is going to help the Islamic Republic. Then we have the reaction that is going to hurt the Islamic Republic, which is everything else. They kidnapped him. This is a coup by Ghalibaf. We have to go save him. Fight until we save Mushtaba. That's against. He's dead. The regime is lying to us. He's fucking dead. The skeptical one that we don't know what's happening, but the regime is not being honest with us. All of these will be against the regime. Only the first reaction would be for the regime, right?
So further division.
Exactly. That's what's going to happen, right? Exactly. Oh yeah, we should do a poll. Should we do a poll on a fake Mushtaba being there? Okay, yeah, we could do a poll. Yeah, let me do the super chats and then we could do a poll. Good idea.
Do you make polls through StreamYard or is that a YouTube thing?
Through StreamYard. I'll teach you everything. Okay, I'll teach you everything.
Young Padawan.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Mythic, thank you so much for the super chat saying, how would the US go about delivering farm goods to Iran? Is it possible the US could deliver weapons to the people under the guise of corn, soy, etc.? No, because once the Islamic Republic is going to get the food, the United States is not going to be delivering that directly. It will be the Islamic Republic, and they're not going to give it to the people. They're going to buy it and then sell it in the markets in Iran, right? So if you put guns in there, the Islamic Republic are like, oh my God, thank you so much for the guns. So
this corn is popping too hard.
Yeah. So that would be arming. You would be arming the Islamic Republic if you put guns in there. Yeah. So no, that wouldn't work. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. And Kevin, thank you so much, Kevin, for buying a membership gift for the people in the chat. Always with the gifts. Thank you so much. And then we have another super chat by BT June. BT June saying, we need more Durka Got Talent episodes. Yes. Well, Durka gets all their talent from me. Everything that they do, a week ahead of time, I give them ideas and I see after that they're doing what I said. So they have no talent. They're copying what I'm telling them to do. It's interesting.
I was going to ask about that. Are the Hadar hoedowns organic? Like, do they adapt to situations? Do they make new lyrics and new songs according to what's happening?
Yes, it is very much. Yeah, they're good at that. They're good at one thing. They're good at making their propaganda look nice, for at least for their internal audience.
Oh, maybe do some reviews of the new ones if you find some ones that are particularly funny or stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, we got another comment here by Todd saying, Armin, is it your understanding that Ghalibaf basically has a red phone in his office to the White House like JFK? Yeah, there's two red phones happening right now, okay? Two. One between Ghalibaf and the White House. I do know that I'm pretty sure that does exist. Also, there's actually three. There is
Mustafa's is pink, right?
No, forget. Mushtaba is irrelevant when it comes to not irrelevant, but he's not doing the talking, right? So there's Ghalibaf and President Trump. There is a WhatsApp communication between Arakchi and JD Vance, okay, and there's IRGC representative and CENTCOM in Doha, right? So Arakchi and JD Vance are talking with each other on WhatsApp. There is a red line between Ghalibaf and President Trump, and there is another direct line of communication between CENTCOM and IRGC based in Doha. So there's three that we know of at least.
Yeah, the pink one was just a joke.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay. Nina with the super chat saying, and how will, oh yeah, I didn't even catch that. Now that makes sense. Okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about something else. Okay. Nina is saying, and how will IRGC react if they start to protest? So we're seeing more and more normalization of speaking shit against the people who are against the negotiations. And if, I don't know when, but if we keep moving into this direction, we're going to see at some point heavy enforcement on people who are troublemakers because they're anti-deal and anti-negotiations and anti-MOU. I don't know when this enforcement will happen, but it seems like we're moving in that direction. So be prepared for at some point seeing even arrests happening.
Didn't we recently see some shooting? I don't know if it was in the air just to clear people away.
Yep, we did see some shooting among these crowds. We don't know. We still don't know what happened there.
My suspicion was that they were getting too rowdy and some shots were thrown in the air like, hey, don't get fresh.
Yeah, that's a good guess. All right, let's do our poll, okay? What is the poll question? Is Mujtaba alive? Is that what we're going with?
Or will he go?
No. Guys, are we doing is Mujtaba alive, or are we saying is Mujtaba going to show up at his father's funeral? Or just keep it simple. Is Mujtaba
Can
alive?
there be threes? Is there a way to do more than two options on a poll?
Yeah, there's 4. You could do 4, but I think we should keep the question. Let me actually answer Texas Troop. Texas Troop is saying, what is the likelihood of using the mosques as munitions factories to produce more drones, missiles, and missile launchers? It could be used as storage, but my understanding is factories require, unless you're closing the mosque completely and just using it as a cover, maybe. But a factory will be too obvious. There's too many operations are there. Like if people are going in the mosque and praying, then the people will know that, like, it will be obvious that this is, I mean, if you're shutting, so here's the thing. If you're using a mosque as a cover, the mosque has to be shut down and people can't go pray there, because if they go pray there, it would be obvious that this mosque is being used as a factory. But if you shut down the mosque completely and use it as a cover, then people's satellite images could see that a mosque that is not being used for prayer, cars are is active, there's electricity on, people are coming in and out, different vehicles are going in and out. You could see people's body heat being detected and everything like that. So it will be in my opinion, if you want to use a factory that is like a hidden factory for drones and missiles, it has to pretend to be a factory for something else. It needs to be, you need to pretend that the factory is producing something else. That's what you need to do.
Can I respond in there's different types of munition. So in America, a lot of people load their own ammo. Can you load your own ammo for guns? Yes, but they're not expending rounds at a level where they would have to do that. That would be my point against that. Because Americans will have their image of, a dad or grandpa making his own gun ammo at the right weight that he likes. So that might be something that plays into that, especially in Texas, right? Because they do make their own ammo. They have to buy certain parts, but you can reuse the shells. So they can do that, but they don't have a need to do that yet because they're not in the type of firefighting where they need to reload their own small arms and basically hand weapon ammo. So they wouldn't be doing that because of that. What they could do is have smaller drones, like the kind of drones that you can make with a 3D printer. Yes, but I also don't think that they're at a level yet where they would need to do that. That would be like for further on. Can people do stuff like that? Yes, they can. Is that happening? I also doubt it.
Amy is saying, can we get a link to Monkey's YouTube channel, please? Yes, of course. And let me see, he has 170 subscribers, so we're moving our way all the way up to 1,000. So guys, here's the link in the chat, posting it right now. go make sure you subscribe to Monkey's channel. We're trying to get him monetized. So here's the link. Okay, there we go.
Thank you, Chad. You guys are awesome.
Thank you. All right, we got another super chat from BT June. Oh, this is very important question. So, Monkey, how do you respond to this? Maybe we could do this. Mushtaba hologram on stage like Tupac in Coachella.
I don't know if they have the technology, but I'm sure if they could, they would. This is like kind of like culturally very significant. It was one of the first holograms that looked nice. And Tupac is very well liked in America. So I get what she's talking about. It's absolutely a possibility. And BT, you can also come down and pass by the channel. I'd love it if you would pass by over there.
Right. Ooh. Here's a question. Fleshy Interloper with the super chat. Thank you so much. Saying revolt while Durkas are at funeral. Oh, so Ali Khamenei's funeral. You're saying that the Iranian opposition against the Islamic Republic, they do revolt then because the Durkas. Well, here's the problem: the Durkas will be in the streets in mass numbers, so that might be a bad time to do an uprising because then you have to deal with the regime. You have to deal with the regime enforcement and the Durka people at the same time.
What about Durka on Durka, violence? Because some people are like edging them on into that.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for Durka and Durka violence. That's what we're hoping for. But I'm not saying. I don't know if it's going to happen at the funeral. But I mean, the division between them is escalating. Like these jihadi people are turning against each other. I don't know if we reach to the point where we're going to see that at Ali Khamenei's funeral. We might see some tension, but I don't know if it's going to get violent. Yeah. And when we got another super chat by Saber Coaching saying mosques need renovations and upgrades. Oh, wink, wink. Like, oh yeah, maybe we're renovating. Yeah, our mosque. So you could, yeah, but then. Like you need how long can you be renovating a mosque? If you want to act like your mosque
kinetic renovation.
Kinetic renovation, yeah. But if you want to continue building missiles in your mosque, people are like you have been renovating this mosque for 2 years and nothing looks different. Right, so
we could help them with some kinetic renovation. We could do that. I mean, if they got something in there, we'll help them out.
Yeah, we could renovate that for you. Okay, we could improve your mosque with some boom booms. Okay, so here's the poll that Fleshy Interloper were suggesting. Fleshy was saying, poll, he will not come. He will come if they will bring out a fake Mushali or Mushtaba, and then or a real Mushtaba will show up. Is that the poll options? What do you think, Monkey? Should I just ask a simple post asking if Mushtaba is alive or not? Or no, we should make it about the funeral, probably, right? Because that's what we're waiting for. Will Mujtaba show up at his father's funeral? Right? So let me see. Mujtaba. Okay, we could go with yes. No. No. Also, maybe I could add an option. They will bring out a fake. Right? Is that the good 3 options? Yes, no, they will bring out a fake. Should I put 3 options?
I think that's good options. I accidentally was adding someone in the 2, it makes the sad face or the angry face, but I'm happy with those options.
Okay, so let me add the poll then, see what the chat thinks about this. Oh, look, BT is on your channel now. Damn, you grease monkeys.
I did hit her with a wrench.
Yeah. Okay, let me put the poll. Okay, Texas Trooper agrees. Let's do the poll. Will Mushtaba show up at his father's funeral? God, everybody's. When is the funeral? Is it in 7 days? I think it's in 7 days. No, guys, everybody is okay. So create the poll. Start and show. Okay, so guys, we put the poll in the chat. Will Mujtaba show up at his father's funeral? put a 1 in the chat for yes. And guys, by the way, yes, it's on 4th of July. It's July 4th. Oh my god. That's crazy. Why did they pick July 4th? Why did they pick July 4th? I don't understand.
And they're tempting fate right there, because we love, fireworks on the 4th of July.
Okay. So the question is, will Mujtaba show up at his father's funeral? So if you put a 1, that you would vote yes. If you put a 2 in the chat, it will vote no. And if you put a 3 in the chat, it will vote, they will bring out a fake. Wow. Okay. I didn't expect people to vote like that. So there is 2, yes, no. Okay. I'm gonna vote 2 myself. I have no idea though. Okay, we got a super chat. I will respond to that. Let me just see where this takes us. Okay, how about this? How about while people vote, we watch something that is happening in Iraq. Did you see what's happening in Iraq?
I just woke up when we went on. I was just grabbing my coffee and just getting ready for the day. What's been going on?
So this is crazy. So reports are emerging that last night while you were sleeping, gunfire inside Baghdad's green zone was happening.
The poll is still on display.
Yeah. We're letting people vote while we're going through this. Okay, let me just finish this. Okay, so there was in Baghdad's green zone. So guys, Baghdad's green zone is where the embassy, U.S. embassy and all the safe area is, right? So there was shootings there. This was really a big deal. So we didn't know what was happening last night when this started, but now we know. Government aligned special forces backed by Iraq army reportedly move against pro-Islamic Republic, it says pro-Iran political figures. So the government in Iraq is now going after politicians in Iraq that are with the Islamic Republic in Iran. So this is a major escalation. The details are still developing and should be treated as unconfirmed, but the bigger question is clear. Is Iraq beginning to reclaim its sovereignty from the Islamic Republic in Iran? Since the fall of Saddam, Iran has embedded itself deep inside Iraq's political system, militia networks, and security architecture. Tehran has treated Iraq less like a neighbor and more like a forward operating base. Recent reporting has also pointed to Iraq-linked covert cells operating inside Iraq and using Iraqi territory to threaten Persian Gulf states and U.S.-aligned interests. So if Baghdad is now moving against pro-Iran power centers, this may not be just another internal political clash. It may be the beginning of a much larger fight, Iraq versus Iran's occupation network, sovereign state versus militia state, Baghdad versus Tehran. So this is what I think is happening. I think that the United States is very effectively pulling the last teeth of the Islamic Republic. This is a defanging process of the Islamic Republic. In Lebanon, the United States is heavily pushing the Lebanese government to kick out Hezbollah. We hope that we know the Lebanese government doesn't have the military strength to push out Hezbollah, but the US might be backing them. By the way, I forgot to show you the video because the video is crazy. Okay, let me see. Let me see this. Oh, there's no audio. But guys, yesterday we had so many videos coming out of Iraq showing a lot of activity in the green zone and military forces moving around and arresting people and taking people out. I don't know if I have. Here's another video of what happened.
They kind of look like Humvees.
Yeah, they're probably American. So there was this one, but also we had Emily Schrader posting this, saying Iraqi Prime Minister Ali al-Zaidi shuts down the green zone and is reportedly arresting pro-Islamic Republic politicians in Iraq. Watch this. There's no idea, by the way, for this one either. So, guys, a lot of people are criticizing President Trump for not doing enough, but it might be that behind the scenes, a lot is happening. Like a lot is happening. Like what we're seeing is
It would be the
saying
best
that
time.
Yeah, this is a good time. Oh, people are saying, Armin, the poll is blocking our view. Oh, okay. I mean, you saw it's not. It's in the black area. Look, you can see it. Or maybe the previous video. You were talking about the previous video. Okay, let me.
They
Finish
might
the
mean
poll.
that.
The previous video. Okay, let me see. Let me finish the poll then. Let's see. Okay, so wow, only 5% of you said yes, Mushtaba will show up at his father's funeral. And wow, okay. And then 60% said no, he's not going to show up. And 36% voted that they will bring out a fake. Okay, all right. We'll see in 7 days.
Would him not showing up be more likely to cause a rift between the ones on copium and the ones that are salty, the ones on saltium versus copium Durka?
Yes, that would be the worst. If they bring out a fake, it's going to become obvious that it's a fake, and it's going to cause a lot of drama. Right? So we'll see. Okay, so let me show you this video again to you guys for what happened in Iraq, in Baghdad. So given that the poll was blocking you guys earlier. Okay.
I do remember last night you guys talked about tanks in the streets too, or was that somewhere else?
No, that was Ali was talking about this. This is what he was referring to.
Okay.
I think he should have said armored vehicles, not tanks.
They might have, I don't know if he got it from a Telegram group or something like that, and it may be some miscommunication in how they wrote it.
Yeah, or maybe a mistranslation.
Could be.
But this is what I think it might be happening. Like, as people are like, oh, we're not being, Americans are not being very aggressive against the Islamic Republic. I think that during the ceasefire, they're from behind the scene, they're defanging the Islamic Republic by moving against Hezbollah in Lebanon and moving against the Islamic Republic politicians and militia groups in Iraq as well, which is these are the last remaining deterrence capabilities of the Islamic Republic. If they do this effectively, a lot more might be happening against the Islamic Republic than people realize. People see explosions, they're like, "Ooh, yay! Islamic Republic blow up," but it's blowing up. It's like is experiencing a lot of damage, and we're hurting them bad. But I think this might be even more devastating than people realize. What do you think?
These are the guys that had almost the same logo as the Islamic Republic and Hezbollah with the hand with the gun like that. Is that these guys? And the people aligned with them, like in government.
So in the guys, tell Sadato that he's behind. He put a 2 in the chat. Tell him he's behind. Move forward in the live stream. So in Iraq, we have multiple different groups, right? We have the main proxy group, militia proxy group in Iraq that is pro-Islamic Republic is Hashd al-Shabi. We have multiple Shia proxy groups in Iraq that are considered to be proxies of the Islamic Republic. The main one is Hashd al-Shabi, right? But beyond the militia groups, we also have politicians, right? Like within Iraq, a lot of the parliament members and a lot of the politicians are loyal to the supreme leader in Tehran and to IRGC more than they are to Iraq itself. They're agents of the Islamic Republic within the politics of Iraq, right? So this is like an invasion, like this is colonization of Iraq by the Islamic Republic. So what we're seeing here, so we have been getting reports that the United States has continuously been bombing Hashd al-Shabi bases in Iraq all of this time. But now what we're seeing is that they're going for the politicians as well. Like the new prime minister of Iraq that became the prime minister with the support of President Trump. Because remember, like if this al-Zaidi guy they were trying to bring, like Iraq, based on the results of the elections, they were trying to bring Nouri al-Maliki, make him the prime minister of Iraq. And President Trump, like, fuck no, I'm not going to let that happen. And President Trump's pressure worked. And instead of getting Nouri al-Maliki, which is more loyal to the Islamic Republic, they got this al-Zaidi guy, right? And now this al-Zaidi guy, which is basically the person that President Trump wanted as a prime minister in Iraq, is now making all of these moves in going out and arresting the politicians in Iraq that are loyal to the Islamic Republic, which means that people need to know that if the Islamic Republic loses Iraq and Lebanon, it's over for them. A lot of people think this is just ideological. It's not just the ideology is an excuse. The Islamic Republic is actually being very strategic. They know that their proxies in Iraq and in Lebanon are their main deterrence, their main leverage in everything they do. And if the United States manages to take these away from them, take Lebanon and Iraq away from them, they're completely naked. They have no protection. Like, the Islamic Republic will be so easy to deal with. So if President Trump is using the ceasefire to do this in the meantime, this is actually very strategic and very smart if they're successful with it. Remember, I wasn't very hopeful with the Lebanese army against Hezbollah. But yesterday, when I was doing my live stream with Ali, I told Ali to bring up the agreement that Lebanon and Israel signed with each other, and United States was a signatory to that as well. And I told him to bring out Section 11. And then we read Section 11, and it showed that United States will be committed, not just the Lebanese government, not just the Lebanese army. The United States will be helping Lebanon and committed to keeping the Islamic Republic out of Lebanon, like stopping the Islamic Republic from supporting Hezbollah. So if United States actually commits to this and supports the new government in Iraq and the Lebanese government against the Islamic Republic and Iran's proxies in both of these countries, then there's a lot more happening in the background, and this is actually very smart. What do you think?
I think you're correct. I remember when you talked about that section of the deal in Lebanon, and what they're probably going to be doing really deep scans into and some forensic accounting is the SWIFT transfer. Do you know what a SWIFT transfer is?
Yep.
It's international banking. So I think that's what they're going to be looking at. They're going to be doing some forensic accounting to make sure that when they do these, flyers, come fight in Lebanon, they start recruiting, that they can trace that money and those banks and anybody involved with it. I would also venture a guess that one thing that they do in law enforcement here is they'll interview you, they'll let you go, right? And then trace your communication to see who else is involved. They might be bombing places and then tracing communications and then arresting people to say, hey, you have a direct tie with these people. When they got bombed, they called you. Here's the CIA intel. I think Fleshi Interloper said it over here. CIA busy, right? Like they have, hey, we have proof that you've been communicating with these people. These are terrorists. You can't be in the government. You swore an oath that you wouldn't be in contact with terrorists. We have the evidence here, and that they go grab the guy's phone. Oh, here's the phone. Here's where they called you. Why do they have your number? Why are you talking to them? Oh, you called them too. And then they would have the evidence to go after these people under the law, because I would imagine that it is against Iraqi law to be in contact and supporting foreign militias.
Yeah, I mean, the law doesn't really matter over there. Whoever has the power, that's the power, like your military power will determine what happens. But also, one thing I need to say, the Islamic Republic doesn't have access to SWIFT, okay? Like they probably use Binance. Binance is they use stable coins and Binance and to transfer money around. And this is why Scott Bessent also is very active following these people's wallets and shutting them down.
Forensic accounting, yes?
Yes, exactly. United States is actually very good at monitoring, money moving around beyond just, the traditional official ways that people move money around, right?
So the law is more of an excuse to gain power than something that's respected. I mean, yeah, even if it's just an excuse for that guy to consolidate power against IRGC, yeah, sure.
All right, let me respond to some super chats. Amy, thank you so much for the super chat saying they will bomb ships to make USA attack on July 3rd for an excuse for him to not show up. Oh, for Moshtaba not to. Oh, Amy. Well, maybe that's a good. Man. Hey, Alibuff, take notes. That's a good idea. Yeah, but I didn't think about it. They might. So because I was thinking that maybe they want to keep everything stable, so that people do show up. So that because they're very desperate to show that we have a lot of supporters, they're doing everything to have mass a large number of people show up at the funeral, right? But Amy is actually countering that maybe actually they would be more interested in having some escalation to be like, oh no, it's not safe. Maybe we shouldn't have Mujtaba out. That is smart. That is Amy. Alibuff, hire Amy as your strategist. That's pretty good. Look at this, guys. You guys are not even been involved in Iranian politics, and you guys are I'm so proud of you guys.
Didn't they have to make fake videos last time, like from other funerals and putting it out there to fake how much people went out? I think Goldie exposed some of that, or you did. I can't remember too. It was so long ago, but there was some fake videos. Oh, it was so full. No, this is just one little corner, and this other video, that's an old video.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah, to be fair, the pro Islamic Republic people in Iran figured it out and were like, "You fucking messing with us!" Like more pro regime people are coming out and saying, "Stop fucking with us! You guys are lying to us." So that is a lot of this is not working, even on their own people. And thank you, Amy. Thank you for the super chat. That was a good one. Yeah. Here's another thing I need to say about the funeral. They have reported that they're not going to have Ali Khamenei's body on the ground. They're going to just be having in the air, flying him around over the crowds. So I don't know what do you think? What do you think they're doing that? Ali Khamenei's body. So everybody is expecting that when they go to the funeral, his cascade with his body in it is going to be in the crowd, and people are going to be like, "Oh, sad," like trying to touch it, everything like that. But they're not doing that. They're going to be like, "Yep, it's up in the air, it's flying by, wave." Okay, that's it. That's what they're going with.
That's a little weird. Maybe they're afraid that nobody wants to get too close, or that there might be a riot. I don't understand. This is too deep in the culture for me to understand why they would do it. It doesn't make sense to me.
It might be that they're trying to. I think there's going to be a lot of people showing up. Like, I think there will be a lot of people showing up, right? But I think I don't know if you've seen the pictures of Khomeini's funeral and Khomeini's body being attacked. Have you seen that? Like, I don't know if you remember.
No,
like,
I'm not aware.
So that was a huge disaster when it happened.
I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it was still the first one. I didn't know there was a new guy.
No, so Ali Khamenei is the second supreme leader, right? Khomeini was the first supreme leader, right?
Recently, when the strike started, that's when I saw his face, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the same guy. Oh, that's right. He would be way too old by now.
So I don't know what you're talking about, but let me actually show you what happened. So hold on. Let me see. Sorry if I don't understand. But, oh my God. Just let me copy the picture. What the hell are you doing? Copy image address. Guys, people in the chat, do you know what I'm talking about? The first Supreme Leader's funeral went very, very wrong. Copy image.
The people got too crazy?
People they broke the cascade, and they got to be able to touch the body.
The casket, right?
What did I say? Cascade?
Cascade is like a different thing.
Oh, okay. Casket? Is that how you say it?
Yes, the cascade is like almost like a waterfall, like something going over the edge and falling into the ground. Like,
okay, sorry. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, here I found the image. So this is what happened in the first funeral.
Jesus, what the? This is real. This is a real image. This is an AI. This happened.
Yeah,
this is
happened.
Crazy.
The people wanted to touch the body so bad that they attacked the casket, and they broke it and they got the body out. This is Khomeini, Ruhollah Khomeini, the first supreme leader and the founder of the Islamic Republic.
This is insane. Oh my God. Put him in the helicopter. I get it now. I understand now.
Yeah, there are too many people who maybe they learned it. This was in 1989. Look, this is, yeah. So this is what happened last time. So maybe this is what they're trying to avoid.
It seems so idolatrous.
Everybody wanted to touch it because they think it's holy. And they had to bring in a helicopter to drag it out. Let me see if I have the video. Like they lost the body and the officials were trying to get the body out, and the body was hanging from the helicopter. Let me see if I could find the video. It was really bad. Is this the video of what happened? Okay, so this is 1980. This is the Khomeini. This is 1989, where the first supreme leader's funeral. So it doesn't have the whole,
the madness.
Oh yeah, okay. This guy is showing us the madness. Let me see.
In June 1989, something incredible and extremely memorable happened in Iran. But it barely made news headlines in the West because it happened on.
Okay, I don't want the explanation. I want the videos.
Catch a glimpse of the body of their supreme.
Oh yeah, there we go. Here's the video.
Tehran of Iran.
To Iranian people, this day is a day of great sadness. We have lost a great leader, and we are all mourning for such a great man.
An estimated 10 million Iranians in black funeral dress clamoured to catch a glimpse of the body of their supreme leader, Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini.
His supporters gathered like tiny insects, covering every stretch of ground as far as the eye could see.
Several people were crushed to death in the hysterical crowd, which was standing outside in 40-degree heat. The helicopter seemed safer than going by road, but then it landed almost on top of the crowd.
The mob swamped the helicopter after touchdown.
Hysterical mourners pulled the coffin from the helicopter and began parading it around the site. The crowd was in a frenzy. The body fell out of the coffin.
In the melee, the body of the spiritual leader of Iran was mauled and appeared to drop to the ground.
The burial shroud he was wrapped in was torn off and came apart as mourners tried to grab bits of it for themselves. In the chaos, some people fell into the empty grave. Officials fired warning shots to get the crowd to move back. They stuffed the body back into the helicopter and announced that the burial was cancelled. The helicopter took off, with people hanging on to the bottom of it and trying to pull the supreme leader back out. As the helicopter flew away, the body was partially hanging out the door.
Many hours later, the helicopter returned. The funeral casket was enveloped by soldiers. But finally, Ayatollah Khomeini was found his resting place.
To stop people digging up the body, the guards used a crane to build a pyramid of shipping containers on top of the grave. Thousands kissed the containers. Some passed their children up to the guards so they could kiss the containers closer to the center of the pyramid. It was one of the largest gatherings of human beings.
Anyway,
Bruh. Bruh. What the? Okay, put him in a helicopter. No, I thought it was crazy. It's making sense. That was insane. Did you see how they picked the kid up? Okay, kiss it. Go back down. Did you see? That was so. That cracked me up at the end. Is that what got you? That got me at the end. Okay, here you go. Kiss it. Okay, back down to daddy.
Kiss. Wait, let's watch that part again. Kiss the container, right? Like, let me bring that up again. That was weird. You're right. That was here. Okay,
It was a little funny too.
yeah. Okay. Wait, the pyramid, the container pyramid.
Enveloped by soldiers. But finally, Ayatollah Khomeini was found his resting place.
To stop people digging up.
Look, is this container like floating and on the people? Like it's moving.
But finally, Ayatollah Khomeini was found his resting place.
To stop people digging up the body, the guards used a crane to build a pyramid of shipping containers on.
Look at that. That looks like a ziggurat or something. They built a pyramid to protect the body
Of the grave.
Yeah, and look at this guy.
Thousands kissed the.
Oh my god. Kiss the container
of shipping containers on top of the grave. Thousands kissed the containers. Some passed their children up to the guards so they could kiss the containers closer to the center of the pyramid.
Kiss the container closer to the center of the pyramid. Okay, so this is why I tell you that Ali Khamenei's popularity and loyalty to Ali Khamenei was never the same as Ruhollah Khomeini. So every step it gets lower, right? So
do you think the zeal of the Durka has gone down too? Because I don't know if the new Durka are as high octane as these. These are some high octane Durka right here.
Yeah. So, people, when I said to people that going from Ruhollah Khomeini to Ali Khamenei, he lost a lot of popularity compared to the first supreme leader. People are like, what are you talking about, Armin? The people, look at these crazy Durka people. They worship this idiot. Like they look like they worship the man, right? I'm like, yeah, it does look like that, but it's still nothing compared to how they worshipped. Here, let me put all three of them next to each other, right? So this one is Ruhollah Khomeini, the first supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. This guy in the middle is Ali Khamenei, the second supreme leader of the Islamic Republic.
But when I heard that he died, I thought it was the first one because I didn't know that the first one had died. I realized now this is just me being an uninformed American, and I apologize. But I didn't even know because I wasn't like up to date on the stuff. When I saw this guy, I'm like, this isn't the same guy. And you're telling me that Ali does not have at all the same level of support and worship that the first one had, right?
Not even close. Even though it's high, like it's like Durka level high, but it wasn't even close to Ruhollah Khomeini. So every time we go from one supreme leader to another, we're going to get a lower level of loyalty.
Okay, but having seen that video, you still go with a helicopter, right?
Yes, of course. I'll still go there. So yeah, guys, please, everybody here, remember the supreme leaders of the Islamic Republic. First one, and Ruhollah Khomeini, which is the founder of the Islamic Republic. Second one is Ali Khamenei, who just recently was killed. And now we have, I don't know, maybe we don't, I don't know, we might or we might not have the third supreme leader, which is Mujtaba Khamenei. By the way, this is AI because we don't have this picture of him. We have less than 10 pictures of Mujtaba Khamenei, and this ain't it. So this is AI. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the super chats. By the way, look at this, Amy. Your question, Amy, your question brought us down a rabbit hole.
That's a lot of mileage, right? That's a lot of bang per buck, you know? I don't know what I'm saying. It's good interaction there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the support. And then Sticking Beans with a super chat from Israel. Thank you so much. Saying, if some still think Lebanese government and Hezbollah aren't the same thing, think again. Also, Lebanese army is highly infiltrated with Hezbollah, simps, and members. It's true. Okay, so you're right, but it's also not completely. So the Lebanese government, Lebanese army is compromised by a lot of Hezbollah sympathizers, but they are separate. And a lot of Lebanese people do want Hezbollah out, and a lot of Lebanese people do want IDF helping the Lebanese government to kick Hezbollah out. There is a lot of hatred for Hezbollah in Lebanon. We can't deny that. So what you're saying is true. There are Hezbollah sympathizers within the Lebanese army, which makes the job difficult. But it's also true that Hezbollah has never been this unpopular in Lebanon. Like, the hatred for Hezbollah in Lebanon is at its peak. And that provides a window of opportunity. But I also agree with you. If you're saying that we cannot trust the Lebanese army and the only solution to destroying Hezbollah is the IDF, I also do agree with that.
So a purge, you start purging these people, start looking into them. That has to be like phase one. If you're you're the Lebanese government and you're looking at the Lebanese military, you're going to start working with intel saying, hey, who among these people are actually working against the people of Lebanon and more for our IRGC? A purge will be welcome, like what's going on in Iraq.
Right. Yeah, true. You know, you're right, actually. Monkey is correct. Like, it's true that there are people within the Lebanese army that are loyal to Hezbollah. It would be, we'll see if the Americans and Israelis could help the Lebanese government get rid of them. So we'll see. It's difficult, though. I do acknowledge that it's difficult. Mark, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. And we're going with the meme of 2. Okay, 2. Yeah, so people are...
Was that in response to the poll?
To the poll, yes, exactly. And thank you, Mark. And then we have cool, okay, thanks, bye, being a member for 1 month. Thank you so much for being a member, saying they have a cardboard cutout on Zoom. Yeah, oh yeah, that's...
It wasn't an option, but hey, you never know. It could be the first Zoom funeral.
The first Zoom, yeah, exactly. Why not? Why not? Anything like...
They would play it at, hey, you guys wanted proof of life? Here it is. And he comes out on Zoom.
Yeah. And then we have... Can we have a special stream on July 4th? Yes, we should. We watch the funeral on July 4th, celebrate American victory.
I'm up for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we should do that. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we should put more American flags and July 4th theme as an overlay. Okay, that's a good idea. BT, that's a genius. We should do that.
Maybe an eagle or two.
An eagle too. Okay, yeah. Yes, that's a good idea. And then we got another super chat from their real... How do you pronounce this? How do you think it pronounces?
Sao. That's my guess. Sao.
Sao. Okay, the real Sao, saying Iraq and Lebanon is Iran's way of holding influence and another layer of defense for Iran. I love the idea of possible IDF helping Lebanon. It's good for my cousin in the Lebanese army. Oh, you have a cousin in the Lebanese army. Yes, I do hope that the Americans commit, because I do know the Lebanese army itself is not going to be able to deal with Hezbollah. I do hope that they do. The only chance is a lot of American IDF support of the Lebanese army. That's the only way to go about it, doing that. And yes, for the Islamic Republic in Iran, Lebanon, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and Hashishabi and the politicians in Iraq, the Islamic Republic politicians in Iraq, are layers of defense and deterrence capability and leverage that they have, and without it, they're defenseless. Without them, they're defenseless. So think about how many times the Islamic Republic has threatened the world, like, oh, the Houthis will close Bab al-Mandab, and the Houthis haven't closed the Bab al-Mandab, right? in the Red Sea. The Houthis, so basically the Islamic Republic seems to have lost its Houthi leverage. But imagine
Power projection.
Yeah, I mean, imagine how much the Islamic Republic would be able to defend itself more effectively if the Houthis were as reliable as before. They like close the Strait of Hormuz and close the Bab el-Mandab at the Red Sea, then the world would have to submit more to the Islamic Republic wishes. You see how these proxies work? This is not just about ideology. This is about power. This is about strategically using your ideology to exert influence and demand more in return for not damaging the global economy, right?
This is their two strongest places to project power, right? Lebanon and Iraq. Okay.
Yes, and they're losing them both, which is very, very significant.
This is why I would add, so that your cousin isn't betrayed by someone in the Lebanese army, I would put step one, so that the people that are for the Lebanese people, not IRGC or Iran, these people need to be purged. Those sympathetic, the simps, will betray the operations, would betray anything that's happening, would allow Hezbollah to strike back against someone like your cousin. And that is why the phase one of whatever they're doing has to be cleaning up the ranks and doing kind of like false information, putting false information out there to see who moves. Oh, they're about to attack this place. See who snitches and see who moves. You understand what I'm saying? Like
also, Yep, I mean, yeah, I see. There's a lot of interesting tactics to get to that point to do that. You're right about that, but we forgot something important. We forgot to say. Wait, let me go back to find him. Where is he? Where's the super chat? I shouldn't have unstarted. What was his name? Something Sao? We should have said to him.
The real Sao or something like that?
The real Sao, yeah. Thank your brother for his service. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Thank you for his service. Please thank him on our behalf for his service. There you go. I fixed it. Okay, next another super chat by BT June. Thank you so much, BT June. Fox. How do you pronounce this?
Fall is like fake. Like you have fall leather, but it's kind of like a French sounding, the X is silent, like fall leather, like fall taba, like fake taba.
Oh, fake, like a fake mushtaba. Fox, you say it. I don't know how it works.
Fall taba, because it's in French, they kind of make it silent, the X.
Okay, all right. By the way, Monkey, you have background noise today, but it's not that bad. Just wanted to let you know. Okay. Why can't I say that? Is there are some words that I can't just pronounce. Jagatai with a super chat. We had another Jagatai. We had two Jagatais now in our live streams, saying theory: Mushtaba is severely disfigured like Palpatine. He knows seeing him will traumatize his idolizers enough that he would lose significant support. You know what? That is very possible. That is very, very possible. What do you think?
I think if I was him, I would use it. I would use a Phantom of the Opera mask and come out like Palpatine. The attack upon my life has left me scarred, but my resolve has never been stronger.
You know, I think if he's alive, his injuries might be even more significant than just being disfigured. Because my question is, why have they not released an audio message from him? Right? Like, if he's disfigured and injured, okay, I get it. No videos, no pictures. But why can't you, instead of just writing statements on his behalf, what is the explanation for why you don't have any audio messages? What's the explanation for that?
Maybe he doesn't have a jaw. Like if you have to reconstruct the jaw, it becomes very difficult to make the mouth make the shapes that make a voice hearable. He could be missing this whole face, the tongue. I mean, there's gruesome possibilities to why he might be alive but can't talk. And he might be communicating through writing or typing, So those are possibilities. No jataba. Yes, BT says no jataba.
No joke. Oh, that's oh my god, BT. Okay, let's go to the next super chat. Amir saying the pyramid grave is like a new modern Kaaba. You know what? You're not wrong, because Amir, you're actually more correct than you realize. Okay, to those people there, that pyramid at that moment was holier than the Kaaba. And I'm gonna actually, guys, tell you a secret that most Shias will deny. Okay, the Kaaba is not that important to the Shias. They act like it's very important to them sometimes, but they care if if a Shia that is very devout had the opportunity to, I don't know, meet with Ali Khamenei face to face or go to Mecca, they will pick meeting with Ali Khamenei 100 times out of 100, right? And if you give a Shia the opportunity to go to Karbala for pilgrimage over going to the Hajj, going to Kaaba for pilgrimage, they will pick Karbala 10 times out of 10. They will pick Karbala. So they might deny it, but the Kaaba is not as important as Shia, as holy places and people that are relevant to Shia Islam. So maybe for Sunnis, Makkah and the Kaaba there is the most important thing for Sunnis, but not for Shias. Not for Shias. Somebody
Interesting.
Yeah. Somebody's saying, okay, so somebody's saying, I don't give a Shia about anything. No, you should say, I don't give a Shia about Shias. I don't give a Shia about what Shias believe in. That's what you should say. Okay.
In America, we had a commercial, chia. It was a little dog that grew like grass on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to you one day and see if we can have like a chia mushtaba that grows something on it. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here.
All right, we got another super chat by Roman Vikings saying the PRC has merit, expertise-based government position and governance continue. Wait, let me read this again. The PRC has merit / expertise based government position and governance continuity instead of democratic electoral cycles with polarized policy reversals. How can the West match these benefits? I think you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't copy. Like, why would you want to copy the CCP? It's not like it's working out for them. Instead of democratic electoral cycles. So here's the thing, Roman Viking. I think that tyrannies sometimes look more efficient in the short term than the democratic model. The democratic model, along with a lot of structure, a lot of methods that are embedded in the democratic processes that keeps people accountable. So it's not just electoral accountability, it's also institutional accountability built within the structure of democratic systems that slows things down a lot. And a lot of people in democracies think that this is bad because it's basically not very efficient. And they look at sometimes something that is happening within the more tyrannical countries, and they see like they're getting things done really, really fast and very efficient, and they don't have to worry about the electoral cycles or a lot of government accountability, and things get done faster. And they get jealous of that, and they're like, we should do that. We should be a little bit more like them. I don't agree with that, because short term, what they're doing looks very efficient. Long term, it doesn't. The very thing that in democratic countries slows them down in the short term speeds things up in the long term. It's kind of the difference between a get rich quick scheme and methods that are more tried and true methods that over the long term makes countries prosperous, right? It's the difference between day trading and value investing, right? It's a difference between somebody who wants to make a quick bucks in the market, or like trying to find a cheat code and getting things done faster because they don't have the patience in investing in the values and the methods that builds your country's bases and fundamentals to set it up right for the long term. I know it's very annoying to deal with the democratic electoral cycles and people voting wrong short term, and governments, the accountability processes that we have basically causing deadlocks and bills not passing and budgets not getting approved. It looks really inefficient and slow, but just zoom out and look at what actually produces the results in the long term. What you see in the CCP is basically looking at a family that looks like, oh my God, look at them. They're going on vacations every weekend. They have a very nice car. They're doing something really good. Look at their life. They must be doing something well. We are so behind, but they're on credit cards, right? They're in debt. This looks good only in the short term. You might not be living as much of a good life as them. They're like producing, oh my God, look at all the electric cars. Look at all the solar panels. This looks so impressive. Look, they just built a railway like that. They created a factory over 100 days only. My God, this looks so impressive. You know what this resembles? Remember, people were saying that exactly about the Soviet Union, right? The Soviet Union, but they were doing things that looked very impressive in the short term. Over the long term, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Believe in America, believe in the electoral cycles, believe in the fundamental values that makes these countries greater. Over the long term, it works.
Can I speak on this from the CCP side?
Yeah.
What the Soviets did was better than what the CCP did, because they're even worse. The Soviets are bad, but the CCP is even worse. Their rapid building is tofu drag. Right now in Venezuela, they're finding that some of these buildings are made of styrofoam. Who think help them do that? That's why a lot of them collapse. They're terrible, terrible, fast construction. That's number one. Number two, you're talking about merit expertise based. This is not a results based. Right? Merit according to who? What? They got some diplomas? Do you know how corrupt these people are? You know how easy it is for one of these princelings to buy a diploma? For one of these princelings to, put their companies and buy some metrics? And what they call merit is not meritorious, because how do you measure whether it gave results? Well, the electorate is going to say, I'm not getting results. And through the ballot box, they will show you merit. You're not going to find merit upon I have this diploma. I'm an expert in this because I have that diploma. What right now Xi Jinping is having to do is he's having to purge a lot of his generals, a lot of his people in tech. Why is he doing that? Is he doing that to consolidate power? Sure. But if they weren't failing, he wouldn't do it. He's not afraid of their power. He's pissed because I don't care if you bought your power or not, you're not getting me results. So because the people got to power through corruption, not results, now they have to be purged. Right? Because someone's going to have to pay the price, and you might have bought your way here, but now that you're here, if I'm not getting the results, you're getting purged. Now, the bottom up methodology is you reward results at the ballot box. That's who's going to determine whether you have merit. What you did is working, so we're going to reward you at the ballot box. That is from the bottom up. The bottom decides, hey, we this is the way we want to go. This is what's giving the most amount of people results. So the most amount of people are going to vote for that. I was just trying to support your argument from the other side.
That was really on point. Really on point. I agree with that. But your audio. So look at this. Alex is agreeing with me. Monkey's audio should be adjusted. You know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna buy Monkey a microphone. Okay, good microphone. Okay, so Monkey, let me.
I did a little adjustment. Is it a little better now or not? Still no?
No, your audio quality is really bad. I mean, we don't want it to be just a little bit better. We want your audio quality to be crisp and really, really good. Your audio quality needs to be improved, right? So let me know if you need me to. I want to buy you a gift as a good microphone, okay? So let me know how I could do that for you. There's an echo. Yeah, there's a little bit of an echo in the back. Maybe.
Oh, that's a different kind of problem that I haven't Okay, Echo is different. I haven't looked at Echo. I've more been trying to clear background noise, but I see what you mean. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't know. I guess I could put blankets on the walls or something to make it stop the echo.
Get sound thing. What is those things called that you put on the walls or something? Like, yeah, we'll get. You know, what is that called? Like echo cancellation.
Echo cancellation. They like styrofoam. There's ways to make it, but I can look into it.
Anyways, let me know if I could help with that, okay? Because I want to do help with that if I can, okay? Because you know, people love you and you make so many good points, but we need to fix your audio.
Well, tell the people love me. I love you back. Love you guys.
Yes, soundproof styrofoam. You know, the Amazon sells this, you know, square things that you could just put on your wall in different places, you know, in different nice colors, and you could, like, it looks good, you know. Yeah, acoustic sound panels. Yeah, that's what
It's called. That's correct.
Yes, and they're not very expensive. They're actually very cheap. Okay.
Oh, we have an idea here. Egg crates. Egg crate wall.
Yeah. Okay. Nail Bunny. Yeah, by the way, I don't know why you have echo. There's a tank behind you and you're speaking from an outside. So I don't know. Like, you seem to be speaking to us from an open space area.
It's a very big tank. That might be it.
Yeah, maybe move the tank. Maybe if you move the tank, we'll stop getting the echo.
Well, I have to fix it first.
Okay. Yeah, oh, yeah. Right. Okay, Nail Bunny, thank you for the super chat, saying, when I saw the Khomeini, oh wow, okay, when I saw the Khomeini's funeral, I lost all hope for Iran. Oh no, I thought they loved the regime and have forgotten the Shah. You brought my hope back, Armin. Oh, that is, oh my God, thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you, Nail Bunny. Appreciate you saying that, guys. Look at this. I brought hope back to Nail Bunny. Thank you, Nail Bunny. Appreciate you saying that. Mwah. Thank you. Yeah, and Nail Bunny, let me tell you something. I don't know. Are you still here? Let me tell you something. I bet you everything that so many people from that funeral are now saying Javid Shah. In that very video that you saw with those crazy people, I bet you a lot of people from that very same funeral are today they're saying Javid Shah. I bet anything, like a huge portion of them. Monkey, why are you angry? Oh, there you go. Why did you get angry?
I was commenting to the chat. I'm ordering the parts to fix the tank. I'll fix the tank soon.
Okay, sounds good. I thought I said something wrong. And then Casey with a super chat saying, should the Pez, we got Pez, guys, is short for Pezeshkian. I like it. Should the Pez be afraid of helicopter rides? Yes. In fact, for a while after Raisi's death, he was going long distances for meetings on in cars. You know, he was refusing to take a helicopter. And they stole his gas. Oh, by the way, so the previous president died in a helicopter accident, and the new president, Pezeshkian, was refusing to take helicopters. And even though he was going to long meetings or ceremonies that were very far away, he was going there on car. And in the way, he went at they stopped for gas, and the gas station that they stopped at had a mixed the gas that they used had mixed water with fuel, so to steal money from people, right? And he got stranded in the middle of nowhere with his crew because he was robbed, basically, and he was cheated by the gas station that they stopped at. So the president of the Islamic Republic in Iran was stranded in the middle of nowhere because the gas station that they stopped at mixed water and fuel together to be able to save money, or basically steal money from them, which is crazy.
Corruption run rampant.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird. And then BT June, thank you so much for the super chat saying, Chia Mushtaba, how grow his beard. Oh, yeah, we should do that. That's actually, that might actually sell. Good idea.
Chia.
No, can you do it with Mushtaba? Chi. No, I can't.
I think it's possible. It is a possibility. Or you'd have to do it like on Etsy. But I could see how it could be done, because you could do a 3D mold and then have a way so that you put the water in the head and it waters the beard to make the beard grow. I mean, I could workshop it out. I don't know if this would be a great production run or just a one-off for funds, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that would. Can we do it as our own merch? Maybe I don't know. That would be a great idea, but I don't know how to do it. Alexia with a super chat. Thank you, Alexia, saying, Armin, if they convince the public with even his real voice, they will say it's not him. They will want to see his face. PS هواتو دارم جاوید شاه. منم هواتو دارم جاوید شاه.
What does Havata Daram mean?
Means I got your back.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So if they convince the public with even his real voice, they will say it's not him. True, but at least some pro-regime people will be satisfied. So here's the thing: the anti-regime people, they're not trying to win them over, but the pro-regime people, if they have his real voice, because a lot of them are desperate to believe in something, so the pro-regime people will buy it. The anti-regime people might not buy it, but they have lost the anti-regime people anyway, so they're not even working on them. They're trying to keep the pro-regime people who they are losing. And if they put his real voice out there, the pro-regime people are so desperate to have faith in something that many of them will be like, okay, fine, he's alive, right? But good question. Steak and Beans with a super chat saying dictatorial and theocratical regimes have way more patience. They don't have elections every 4 years. Yes, but they don't have the wisdom of the crowd. And that is a bug, right? Because they have a lot more patience, but they use that patience to make decisions that is inferior from the decisions that you would get out of a free, open society. Because a free, open society gives you the wisdom of a crowd. Because a free, open society gives you answers based on different ideas and methods competing with each other. It creates a Darwinian competition for the answers that it ends up, that system provides you with an answer that no elite and no wise person would ever be able to reproduce. So in dictatorial regimes, you are relying on the elite and the people who are wise, but the elite and the wise will never be as wise as the wisdom of the crowd. And guys, when I say the wisdom of the crowd, it doesn't mean that the individuals in the crowd are wise. The individuals in the crowd do not need to be wise for the wisdom of the crowd to be greater than the wisdom of the elite. We have 3 levels of wisdom. This is the lowest. The average wisdom of members of the crowd. That's the lowest. Then we have the wisdom of the elite, the professionals, the experts, right? That goes a bit higher. But then we have the wisdom of the crowd. Even though the wisdom of each individual in the crowd on average is low, there's an emergence happens. There's an emergent property of the society when you allow them to compete and freely express themselves and freely fight the different methods, freely compete against each other in a Darwinian evolutionary process that creates a wisdom that is so much higher than the aggregate amount of the wisdom of every individual in the crowd, right? It's kind of like an ant colony. Each individual ant doesn't look very smart and doesn't look like very intelligent at all. But if you look at the colony as a whole, you see an intelligence that it cannot be explained with each individual ant. And this is demonstrable. This is why communism and fascism fails. Communism fails because no elite could be able to figure out what is the right amount of supply and price of each product and how the market should behave, how should production of goods and services be done. That's why communism fails, because the elite cannot reproduce the wisdom of the free markets. And fascism fails because no philosopher king will be able to come up with the political processes that works best for society better than a free society with the liberty to make its own decisions and basically allow whatever method that is inferior to fail, right? So fascism fails because liberty in politics is the best answer, and communism fails because liberty in the markets, in the economy, cannot be beaten.
Can I add to that two remarks? One is the people want Armin's ant cam. If you ever get a new ant colony, the ones that you could put in glass, I bet a cam to that you could switch to it. Like maybe you have it in the garden or something. The people are really into the ants. And another thing is, I'm going to go back to something you tend to say. You want to do the most amount of good for the most amount of people, right? The largest amount of good for the most amount of people. How can you measure that? How will you know? Well, the way you measure that is through the ballot box. If the person in charge is not causing the most amount of good for the most amount of people, they will vote someone else in. Right. So if you have some wise leader, like I'm going to give you an example, this guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I would never try to, lecture him on astrophysics, but I'm not going to take his lectures on why women and men is the same in sports. They have different musculature. He is an expert, but sometimes people have the bad habit of trusting an expert in one field when he talks about things he has no expertise on. So when you have these elite circles, the reason that you want the wisdom of the crowd is because even though they're smarter than your average person, they don't have the experience of living among the crowd. They don't have the experience outside their area of expertise. So if you want to know what is going to be of the satisfaction to the largest amount of people, that's also where you go to the wisdom of the crowds. And I think you've spoken on doing the most amount of good for the most amount of people. So I wanted to bring that up to bear in this.
Pretty good. Okay, now I need to go to the last super chat, and after this I need to go soon because I have an important call to make. And guys, thank you so much for all the support and everything, you guys, all the great questions as well. So guys, remember, we have a stream happening in how many hours? We have a stream coming up in 2 hours on the same channel. So make sure you subscribe and you also hit the bell notification on Liberty Politics. But let me just read this one and then I'll go make a call. Guys, big things are happening. I'm making like really important phone calls to people that I never imagined I would be talking to. So Cali Fortune with a super chat saying, I'm old and remember the funeral for the original terrorist, Khamenei, with my grandma. Wow, okay. When carrying the body over the crowd, they dropped him. Yes, exactly. My grandma thought it was the funniest thing ever. It was. Oh my God. Well, that's very sweet. Bless her. That's interesting. Okay, you saw that. You saw it when it happened. That's crazy. That's interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. I was alive when that happened, but I was too young to understand what's happening. So I was a kid. I was really small. That was good. All right, guys, I need to go really fast. I have a very important phone call. And guys, don't forget to subscribe to Monkey's YouTube channel. The link is in the description. And he will have his own segments on Liberty Politics very soon as well. Oh, Nelben is saying, Armin, I saw it when it happened as well. That's great. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to head out. Love you guys. And 2 hours from now, we're going to go live here again on Liberty Politics. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukraine, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javid Shah, Payande Iran. Mwah. See you guys soon.